They said the sounds coming from inside the dumpster were rats. The apartment manager wanted to seal it up. But when animal control pried open that rusted metal lid on a freezing February morning, what they found made every person step back in shock. A Russian blue cat, emaciated, covered in filth, with 4 ears. Not 2, 4. 2 normal ears and 2 smaller ones positioned just behind them, all moving independently, tracking every sound like a living radar system. The animal control officer had done this job for 16 years. 3-legged dogs, blind cats, every injury imaginable, but never this. He radioed back, voice shaking. "You're not going to believe what I'm looking at." Nobody did. Even when they brought the cat in, wrapped in a blanket, shivering and weak, people kept staring like they were witnessing something that shouldn't exist. His body was shutting down. Hypothermia, severe malnutrition, infected paws from trying to climb out, but those 4 ears never stopped moving, scanning forward and backward, even dying. He was listening. They estimated 5 days trapped. No food, no water, freezing temperatures. How was he alive? If you've ever wondered what separates survival from giving up, if you've ever seen an animal that refused to quit even when nature said it was over, then you need to see what happens next. Hit that subscribe button because this 4-eared cat's will to live is about to prove that sometimes mutations aren't weaknesses. They're exactly what you need to survive the impossible. The emergency vet approached slowly. Normal protocol said sedate for examination, but something made her hesitate. As she spoke softly as she noticed, his front ears tracked her voice while his back ears locked onto the heart monitor in the next room. He was processing 2 separate audio streams simultaneously. "This isn't a deformity," Dr. Patel whispered. "This is evolution." They named him Radar because that's exactly what he was, a living, breathing detection system that could hear danger from directions other cats couldn't even imagine. But Radar didn't want to be touched. For 3 days, he sat in the recovery kennel corner, all 4 ears flat, eyes wide with terror. He'd eat when nobody watched. The moment anyone approached, those ears would rotate into defense position. The shelter staff couldn't figure it out. He'd survived 5 days in a dumpster. He'd fought through hypothermia and starvation. But human touch? That's what terrified him. Then Sarah, the volunteer who'd fostered the angry Winston, came to visit. She'd heard about the 4-eared cat through the rescue network. When she saw him, pressed into that corner, 4 ears flat, body trembling, something clicked. "He's not scared of people," she said quietly. "He's scared of being trapped again." The kennel was small, enclosed. Every sound bounced off the walls and hit all 4 of his ears at once, creating an echo chamber of sensory overload. To Radar, that kennel was just another dumpster, another metal box he couldn't escape. Sarah made a decision. She opened the kennel door and walked away. Just left it open, sat down across the room with her back turned, giving him the choice. For 40 minutes, nothing happened. Then she heard it, the softest sound, paws on linoleum. She didn't turn around, didn't react, just kept scrolling through her phone, pretending she didn't notice the gray cat with 4 ears, slowly, cautiously emerging from his prison. Radar made it 3 feet from the kennel before he stopped. His 4 ears were working overtime. Front pair locked on Sarah, back pair monitoring the door, side to side scanning for threats. He was calculating risk, measuring distance, deciding if this was real or another trap. Sarah pulled out a small piece of chicken from her pocket and placed it on the floor halfway between them. Then she went back to her phone. The chicken sat there for 10 minutes. Radar sat there for 11. Then, in one fluid motion, he darted forward, grabbed the chicken, and retreated back to his kennel doorway. But this time, he didn't go inside. He stayed at the threshold, eating slowly, watching Sarah with those luminous green eyes. That's when she knew. He wasn't broken. He was being smart. Over the next 2 weeks, Sarah visited every day. Same routine. Open kennel, sit with her back turned, leave food a little bit closer each time. And each day, Radar came out a little further, stayed out a little longer. By day 12, he was sitting 3 feet from her, not touching, not trusting, just existing in the same space. His 4 ears had learned that her sounds were safe, her breathing pattern, her heartbeat, the way she moved. His extraordinary hearing had cataloged her as not a threat. Day 14, something shifted. Sarah was having a rough morning. Bad news from home, stress piling up. She sat down on the floor and just let herself feel it, tears streaming silently down her face. She felt weight against her leg. Looked down. Radar had pressed himself against her, all 4 ears forward, focused entirely on her. Not on the room, not on potential threats, on her. He started purring, that deep Russian blue purr that vibrates through everything. And for the first time since they'd pulled him from that dumpster, all 4 of his ears relaxed. Not scanning, not monitoring, just being. Sarah filled out the adoption papers that afternoon. 6 months later, Radar has transformed Sarah's home. Climbing structures give him sightlines on every entrance, escape routes from every room. He'll never be trapped again. People ask if it's hard, if the special needs and trauma make things complicated. Sarah just watches Radar by the window, front ears on her kitchen sounds, back ears monitoring the street, finally safe. He doesn't need me to understand him, she says. He just needs me to give him space to heal on his terms. But here's what keeps Sarah up sometimes. What if that apartment manager had sealed that dumpster? What if animal control had dismissed it as rats? What if nobody had looked inside because the sounds seemed too strange, too impossible to be worth investigating? Would Radar still be in there? Would those 4 extraordinary ears have been the last thing to stop working as he gave up? Would anyone have ever known that a cat with 4 ears had fought harder to survive than most creatures with 2? Would you have opened that dumpster? Would you have believed what you saw? Or would you have walked away, convinced that 4-eared cats don't exist, that the sounds were just rats, that some things are too impossible to be real? Sometimes the most extraordinary survivors are the ones nobody believed in. Sometimes 4 ears aren't a mutation. They're exactly what you need to hear hope coming when everyone else has stopped listening. What would you have heard?